Hey guys, it's B-Man19 and here's your breakdown video. First things first, make sure you have a decent sized working area. The gun is kind of big and has lots of small parts, so you don't want to risk losing any. Second thing I like to do is set a mat down. This is actually one of those ShamWow things you saw on TV. Um, you want to have a mat just in case any small screws or anything come out or you drop them while you're working, because I do that a lot. And you want to do that just so that you don't lose any of those parts, because every part in an airsoft gun is important. And so, without further ado, here we are. JG Type 96 Airsoft Sniper Rifle. Now, the first thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to need to get your Allen keys, pull out the one that you need, or if you have the Allen key already that came with the sniper rifle. What you're going to have to do is on the bottom of your sniper rifle, just above the release button for your magazine, and about halfway between the magazine and the bolt, are two holes that you need to insert your Allen key here. Be a bit tricky sometimes. Here's another one of those things those pliers come in handy for, because sometimes bolts are a little stiff, so you need to get some leverage on them. And there it goes. And so now when you take it apart, lift up on the front of your sniper rifle, and the back end of it should just slide right out. Easy as that. Make sure you watch the trigger. You don't want a chance breaking that or anything. So now you can set your main body aside. And that leaves you with your outer barrel hop-up trigger bolt system. Okay? Now, you can do this in any order that you like. This is just the order that I like to go in. First, you want to get your hop-up guard off. So that's where handy-dandy little Phillips head screwdriver comes in handy. There's two screws on either end of it. You'll see them. They're not hard to see. Unscrew those. If I can get it out. So you can pull the hop-up guard out. And I normally just leave the screws in there, that way you don't chance losing them. Set them aside somewhere where you won't bump them or anything. And so then, there you go. You have your hop-up system exposed on the inside of your barrel. And normally, for your hop-up, you have a lever here that is another screw that you have to take off. And prime example, I took it off because you have to take it off in order to pull the hop-up system out. But I lost a screw to it, so now in order to adjust my hop-up system, I have to take my gun apart. So there you go, prime example of why you have to be really careful about that. Okay. Now, you're going to need your handy-dandy Allen key again. And on the bottom side of where the bolt is, there's going to be another Allen screw right here that you want to take apart. This pulls the, I call it the body mount for your bolt action and your trigger and everything. So you pull that Allen key. Hey YouTube, this is B-Man19 again. Sorry about the delay on the follow-up videos. I had a little bit of technical difficulty yesterday while doing the breakdown. So without further ado, I'm just going to pick up from where I left off. Yesterday we had everything already taken apart. You should have undone the Allen key up here and thought I had it undone too. I had the Allen screw undone up here, and so the mount should just come right off. You can set that aside. Now, to make this a little bit smaller and easier to handle and deal with, there's another screw right here on the front of the main body that take regular Phillips head screwdriver, take it off, put it down, and then to detach the outer barrel and the hop up in the inner barrel from the main body, you just simply twist and pull. And there you go. Set the outer barrel aside. You don't want to get it dirty or greasy, because when you start getting into the bolt, it is going to get greasy. Not so much if you haven't ever shot it before and it's brand new, but if it's an older one and it's been used like mine has, you'll just have grease caked in there that it's kind of a pain in the butt to clean out, but that's what you get when you neglect your weapons. Okay, so now you got a much easier piece to work with here. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to detach the trigger housing from the main body. There's 2 screws on either end of the trigger housing. You just unscrew them, pull them out, and be careful with them. Don't lose them because they have little washers on them. Do the one up front. So now, as you can see, trigger housing is loose. Now, you don't necessarily have to do this in this order, but what I like to do is I like to take the back, the bolt off. Makes it a little bit easier to deal with. So, take your Allen key again, and on the back side of your bolt, you can see right here in the video, there is an Allen screw that you just undo it, unscrew it, set it aside. And so now the butt end should come right off. And you want to be careful because there's a little piece right inside there, right in front of my fingertip. It's a little piece of metal and a spring in there. You don't want to lose that. That's it's kind of like a guide for when you're racking your bolt. So set that aside. Make sure you don't tip it upside down or anything. And then now your bolt slides right off. You set that. Now, this next part you want to be a little bit careful because when you can now pull this slide off because you detached it from the trigger housing, and that will actually have a good amount of grease in it as well. And you pull this out as well. It's a little plastic washer. It's kind of hard to see, but this will be just caked in grease as well. So you've got a lot of cleaning ahead of you. And so now the trigger housing doesn't come completely off, but now it's extremely loose. Now that it's got all the base components off. And in order to take it out, there's a little pin you can see right here. You can see right there. You have to pull that out. But in order to do that, you have to take the spring out, which I will do in my next video. Okay, picking up where we left off from my last video, you've got the outer barrel and the inner barrels taken off, and now we've just got the guts and the glory of your sniper rifle. Now, this next part is going to get very messy. It's there's a lot of grease inside your bolt here, and for good reason. So I'm going to show you how to take apart this and how to finally get this trigger housing off. So on the end of the air nozzle, where the air is compressed and pushed out to propel the BB forward, you see 2 little holes here on either side of it. Now, what you're going to need to do is, and I use my little handy dandy Airsoft Phillips, you're going to take it and you're going to insert into one of these holes here. and you're going to use that as kind of like leverage, because this is going to unscrew out. So you just insert it in, twist, and it should start coming right out. When you get to a certain point, you should be able to just grab a hold of it and twist it out yourself. It's threaded in there pretty tight, but not so tight you can't get it out. And as you can see, I'm already starting to get grease on my hands. Now, I'm almost to the end here. You want to be very careful when you get to a certain point. It's gonna pop out on you, and if you're ready for it, it won't spring out, hurt anything, or fly off, and you won't lose any parts. So just be ready for it. So now you can take your nozzle and set it aside. Now you have your bolt shaft. It's got the little rubber stopper on there. It's hollowed out. That'll have a lot of grease in it too, so make sure you clean that out and put grease back in it. Set that aside, and now you pull out the main power behind your sniper rifle, the spring itself. And there's a little stopper on the end here that you just pull that right out too. And that'll have, as you can see already, and I just cleaned this recently, it's already got a bunch of grease on it. And set that aside, and now you can take your trigger housing, pull that little pin out, little divot right there, caked with grease, and now your trigger housing comes right off. And I'm not going to cover how to take this apart, because you really don't need to take it apart unless there's something broken on the inside of it. So when it comes to the trigger and all the internals there, I'd leave it alone unless you need to fix something. And now, slide it right out, and there you have it. That's how a complete breakdown of your Type 96 JG Airsoft sniper rifle. When you clean it out real good, I use Q-tips, paper towels, all that good stuff. And one thing about the oil is you want to make sure that it is rubber friendly, because you do have a rubber stopper on here. And if that breaks, then that air is not going to get compressed, and you're going to lose a whole lot of FPS. So you want oil that is good for rubber. My team captain recommended Bars oil or pneumatic oil. You can get them at Lowe's or Home Depot in the hand tool section. So, and make sure you have Gojo degreaser, stuff like that. So, it's B-Man19 signing off. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy this, and I hope it helps you out.